The song for today is called April, Give Me One More Day. It's an obscure song from the 1950s, recorded by Sarah Vaughan, released on a very inexpensively produced album called All Time Favorites by Sarah Vaughan. Well, they're not all-time favorites, at least not all of them are, and this one has remained obscure, and it's by Lou Singer, and who wrote from the late 1930s at least onwards through the 1950s, and a fellow named Paul James Shank. I believe it's a 1950s song because this arrangement and the kind of graphics on the LP that I taped this from all reek of the 1950s, probably the late 1950s. I had never heard this song, and I became enchanted by it the minute the arrangement starts. It's a beautiful arrangement with this pizzicato sort of feeling, staccato, delicate, repeated figure that it starts with. The song is structured as so many Tin Pan Alley songs are, with the A section, the main melody, which is a melody that is then repeated in a second A section, and then a B section, or release or bridge as it's called, which is a contrasting melody, and then a return to the main melody with a final A section. So A, B, A. And the B section is quite a considerable contrast to the A section. We can talk about that after we listen to it. And I particularly love this song because, well, I record this in the springtime. It's now May 2nd. And there's this feeling in April particularly that it's like every day is precious. When the weather is lovely particularly, but even when it's not, everything's coming out. You know, all the leaves are coming out, all the flowers are coming out, the blossoming trees. And it just makes you so excited. And it makes you feel so like you're in this sort of this state of magic for days and days and days, and it's all going so quickly. Everything's changing so fast. Every few days, sometimes every day, everything's changing fast, and it's so beautiful, and it's going so it's so evanescent that you just want to hold on to it. Please, just give me one more day. And in the song, of course, this is given this feeling that we have is given the context of romantic love. And so oftentimes these songs are about these tremendous surges of emotion that we have in relationship to nature, in relationship to work, in relationship to family, but they're all put under this metaphor of romantic love. So with that in mind, let us listen to it through, and then I'll comment on it again afterwards. It's a little skippy, a little scratchy, and there's a skip in it. You can find it on YouTube without the skip.
Chance to make romance come true. Oh, April, how I'd wish you'd stay. I've words to say. Why hesitate to change a date or two? January, February, March,
Beautiful. So, I mean, the first thing that strikes me is that there's this. It's a supplication to this deity, April, which is this reified, anthropomorphized abstraction, April, and yet in our we all know what it means. Those of us who live in Western society, at any rate, understand. That those who live in the northern hemisphere, understand this quality that April has that seems to slip by so quickly. The internal rhymes at the end of each A section are lovely. April, beautiful floating, give me one more day. Beautiful floating field there. So near is May. Now there's a little bit of a weakness in the lyric because so near is May sounds it isn't quite comprehensible to the ear very easily, and it's hard for the singer to make it so. It sounds like Ismay. It sounds like the woman's name Ismay. So near Ismay. Where is Ismay? She's so near? Where is she? But so to really bring it out, you'd have to go so near is May. To have a little break between is and May, and that can be hard. I notice that Sarah Vaughan doesn't choose to do that. She trusts to the context to make the blurring of those sounds clear to the listener. So here is May, another chance to make romance. So that double rhyme, another chance to make romance, that internal rhyme, come true. Oh, that poignant, oh, April. How I wish you'd stay. I have words to say. Why hesitate to change a date? Another lovely internal rhyme or two. But it's such a whimsical thought. It's like as if somehow you appealed to the goddess May, April, that she somehow know that she could manipulate time just to give you like 32 days, 31 days, 32 days. Of course, 30 days, half September, April, June, and November. So April is a little bit shorter than a lot of the other months. 7 of the other months. Or is it 8? And so I suppose that in a sense it kind of makes sense that he'd ask for that 31st day, but another day or two, like why not just squeeze in 32 days, and why this is sense of deadline that the protagonist has to somehow bring their wooing into culmination during April is kind of a mystery. But I kind of know what they mean, in that you sort of feel like it's like May is when everything's going to be fully blown, and if my love isn't fully blown by then, that I may miss my chance altogether. So then it goes into the release. Now, when I started to learn this song, the release was the first thing that I was able to memorize, even though it was the main section that I was particularly enchanted with. So that says something interesting to me that I don't know quite what it is. There's something a little bit more obvious about it, a little bit more catchy, maybe a little bit more crude. And it certainly changes its rhythmic texture. And so you feel that it's almost got this sort of swagger to it. January, February, March have passed. Even though it's talking about losing, having been a loser, not being able to create any love affair, any romance during January, February, and March, that they just got away from you. It still has this sense of confidence to it, which is kind of one of those dynamics and these contradictory dynamics in these songs that you tend to find. Our past time and love had passed me by. April then appeared, I lost my heart at last. Lost and last are lovely little, lovely little chiming sounds there. An April fool in love am I. Which I like the way Sarah Vaughan does that the second time. It's almost like a shrug. I'm an April fool, what can I do? Oh, April, back to the title phrase, give me one more day. Again, the title phrase is also oftentimes the core, the center of the song, the building block of the song. And here it is at the beginning of the A section is the main strain. It has this beautiful floating quality, lyrical, with the loveliness of April. April, give me one more day. Just one, I pray. Again, now we get, in a sense, because of the word pray being in there, we finally get to the core of this. So there's this whole, all three of the A sections are like a prayer. The middle section is more like a retrospective. It's more like a diary entry or something like that. Just one, I pray, a little time, and she'll be mine in May. So May is like the final resolution of this thought that the song expresses. There's a little bit of weakness there because that final internal rhyme isn't an internal rhyme. Mine and what is it? So when I pray, a little time and she'll be mine. Time and mine are not a perfect rhyme. Rhyme and time would be a perfect rhyme. So what am I trying to talk about here? It's a consonance. No, that's an assonance. That's an assonance. The other one was a consonance. The lost and last was a consonance. But this is an assonance. So that's a little bit of a weakness because whenever in a slow, serious song in this tradition there's an imperfect rhyme, it tends to weaken the song. It suspends the feeling of it breaks the rules, so it tends to jar in our ears because the rule of this song is so well established that they're going to be using perfect rhymes up until that point. They do, so. So that does weaken the lyric a little bit, but still, isn't it a beautiful thing? You go from April, the first word of the song, to May, the last word of the song, creating what Dr. John Diamond calls the haiku of the artwork. So April, May, in a sense, does sort of give this sense of it not only leads forward, but it also resolves. So that's a beautiful song that I'd love to hear people appreciate more and perform more. And that's it for today.